Welcome, guys. We are live. I want to try something out here with a Chase's Guitar Academy news update. Let me know in the chat if the audio and video is coming out good. Let me know that everything is working, and then we will get started. So, just see in the chat as people are joining. Give it a minute. So I'm hoping to do this maybe weekly, but I'm not going to commit to a set schedule yet because basically there's so much happening in my world with the YouTube channel and also Chase's Guitar Academy that I thought this actually would be the fastest way to update everyone on what's going on. So yeah, just if you're watching live, just let me know in the chat that the audio is good and that the video is good. Just let me know quickly, and then I will get started with the update. Awesome, got a thumbs up from my brother, so let's dive in. All right, news update. Let's see. All right, so let me switch over here to the action plan, and I'm gonna see if we can do these on Fridays, basically. So I just came back from vacation in Florence and Rome. It was awesome. If you guys have been there, highly recommend it. I did 3 days in Rome and 3 in Florence. Then right before that, I actually interviewed Michael O'Neill about Benson and his techniques. We just put that video out if you guys haven't seen that. My brother did a great job editing all that. It was a ton of work, so I recorded that and then gave it to him, and then took a vacation, and then he had a great result. So based on that, some of the feedback I'm getting from that, it seems like you guys want Michael O'Neill back, so I'm gonna work on that with him. And then I have a lesson on octaves in the works, so that should be out soon. Probably the next lesson, since we kind of have this octave theme going on. Hopefully you guys will be into that. I think it's going to be really good and touch on a lot of techniques of octaves that you'll just have a really good overview of the technique as a whole, from Django to West to Benson. Should be really good. As an exclusive for Chase Guitar Academy members, I'll do a lesson just on all of the advanced, let's call them Benson octaves, all of the stuff that he does that is just kind of mind-blowing. You saw some of them in that interview with Michael O'Neill, but there's even more that he does. So I'll break down that technique, even a few things I learned since doing that interview as I've been working on this myself. A lot of different kinds of techniques that Benson does with octaves, so that's great. I did want to share this win from our member Ken, who was working through our Blue Skunk Triad study. And I'll just kind of go through it real briefly. He was working on this. He was having some trouble with the arpeggio study. He hasn't posted his performance. But he says, anyways, today I had a jam with a pianist and an upright bassist. The tune Straight No Chaser was called. It's in the same key as this study he was working on. And he had a breakthrough with his jazz blues soloing. He says, I just played this study from the Blues Accelerator course and added an original chord solo shout chorus and absolutely killed it. So shout out to you, Ken. That is an awesome win from this week. So I'm going to be sharing more of these member wins within these kind of news updates. If you guys have any questions also as I'm doing this, feel free to put them in the chat and we can get to those at the end of this. I'm going to keep these news updates real brief. Just a quick little update, answer some questions, and we'll get on with our day. So one big theme within Chase's Guitar Academy, and just as a whole, is this whole spring cleaning theme. So I want to update you guys on a few ways that that is happening. So the first thing right here is that I started combining some of these courses. You know, we have built up quite a library within Chase's Guitar Academy. And we had a few different courses on practicing, so different aspects of that. We had a master class with Cheryl Bailey on how to practice. She called it Perfect Practice Makes Perfect. And then we had a practice reset workshop. We had a jazz guitar success blueprint workshop on creating a 90-day action plan for practicing, and we had an effortless practice masterclass. So what I did is I put all of those together, and this is actually out now. I put all of these together in one place within CGA. So let me just show you where that is. So inside the classroom now, there is a how to practice. I used one of my photos from my trip to Rome. So how to practice, and it has all of the info you need on practicing, how long each of these sessions are, an hour, hour 40. So some of these, they're pretty in-depth, but if you have questions about practicing and practice routine, this will answer them, I'm sure. So that's all in there, and it condenses 4 previous courses all into just one. So the material is all still there, but it's just a lot easier to navigate. And I'll be doing more of that with other courses over the next few months, just to make things even clearer. And as we accumulate different courses and great master classes, I just need to make sure that the organization is clear. So that's coming soon. We also did simpler and shorter categories. That's just a small update within CGA, so that the categories you pick for your different posts are a lot easier to recognize and know which one to use. All right, spring cleaning. If you're on the mailing list, you know that we just announced this whole Chase's Guitar Academy faculty, which is going to have a bunch of great, some of my favorite jazz guitarists and educators here within CGA. The first one in a couple weeks actually is with Tim Fitzgerald. He's going to do a series of classes on Wes Montgomery's styles. He's known as really the top, let's call it, scholar of Wes Montgomery. We did one already with Tim as a masterclass on Wes's chord soloing. And so we have 3 planned with Tim, basically one a month. I think the first one is going to be on Wes's single note playing, specifically how he approaches arpeggios. There's a lot of misconceptions or just maybe false information out there on how Wes actually plays these. What are the shapes he's using? So we'll dive into that. Then we'll do his octave playing, and we'll also do his octave and chord soloing, how he combines the two. So you get really a full overview of Wes's playing with a lot of detail on each of these specific techniques. So the first class for that is May 1st. And then 2 weeks later, we're going to have Corey Christensen on this topic of essential jazz vocab. So each of these faculty members will have their own topic sort of path that they're going to be on. And Corey's is essential jazz vocab. I think we're starting off on May 15th discussing some essential vocab from Joe Pass. And then whenever we have Corey back, we'll do another jazz legend and look at their essential jazz vocab. In the past, we had Corey on and we did Grant Green. So we'll do some different guitarists, but I also want to expand it beyond guitarists to, other famous jazz musicians and jazz vocab. If it's a horn player, I know Corey's done a bunch of different books on different jazz musicians, and we want to make use of that knowledge that he has. So there's another CGA faculty member. Actually, we'll just keep it at that. There's another CGA faculty member I'll announce in a few days. And if you're already a member of CGA, you know that there's a whole summer schedule that's already out. It's going to be basically 3 of these awesome faculty members every month. So almost one a week teaching within Chase's Guitar Academy. Super excited for it. There's going to be so much learning in there. And yeah, that's the main thing we have going on. Any questions, just let me know in the chat. But that's the quick update, CGA news for this week. And I will see you guys next week if there are no questions. And each of these weeks, we have so much going on. I just want to keep you guys updated on what is changing, what is being added, and all of that. So thanks for tuning in. And I will see you guys in the next video.